Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Neighborish livecast. I'm Super Dave, aka Mr. Incredible, and with me, as always, is some of the most interesting people I know, folks that make the Neighborish livecast Neighborish. Starting with tonight's feminine energy, the epitome of black girl magic with the velvety smooth voice, Miss Aisha Green. How you doing, Ish?
Hello, David.
Yeah, how's everything, man? You good?
Yeah, I'm outstanding.
Outstanding. That's a good answer to that. And my man, 100 Grand. Look, I've been thinking of a new way to introduce Mike because, I always say like the same stuff, life of the party and all that. So I was watching, what's the joint, the Ricky Bobby joint the other day. Remember when they was at the table?
Talladega Nights.
Yeah. When they was at the table and they was talking about, the dude was talking about how he see Jesus with a tuxedo t-shirt on. I mean, he did for business, but he ready to party. That's Mike right there. He always ready to party, but he about that business too. Just Mike is with us. What's up, brother?
It's good to see y'all, man. See y'all.
Yeah, I know you out and about, so I don't know you too much. But I appreciate you though. And we got a great show for y'all today. Because like I said, April is top 5 month here on the Neighborish livecast, and today's guest is definitely top 5 in a bunch of categories. So with this intro, I'm gonna start on a personal note. So I met today's guest a few years back. We did a cancer benefit, where we both performed. The young lady that set the thing up, shout out to Tweety. She introduced us. We chopped it up a little bit. I went on and did my thing. He went on and killed it. Like when you talk about artists talk about something called commanding a room and stage presence. This dude like is one of the people like I look to for that skill. Just from that day, seeing them, live perform. Of course, everybody knows him, but seeing him perform live that day, his stage presence was impeccable. And as if that wasn't enough. He's one of the first rappers from the DC area to be signed to a major label. His debut album, Get 'Em Sice, was released in 2000 to critical acclaim. Since then, anytime I've seen this dude out anywhere, he's always supporting and lending his profile and his personality and his voice to other artists, man. That's how much he loves the city. That's how much he loves hip hop. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about none other than DC legend, Black Indian. What's up, brother?
Man, thank you, man. Hey, Super Dave, man. That was special coming from you, Dave, because I remember the day I was watching the Super Bowl and you came on there rapping on Pizza Hut and Cass from the city. He went to Howard. He from the city. Yeah. Cass knew you, and I was like, Slim, we came a long way because this came around the time Raheem Devine had a party at Gucci. And I was like, at a party at Gucci? I couldn't believe it. Being signed at that time, nobody wanted to rap. You was a Bama if you rap.
Right.
Kids from Southeast DC making Pizza Hut commercials. And I'm like, good Lord, man, it's like, I wasn't a dummy, People used to get on us for wanting to be rappers, so it made me feel like, damn, I chose the right way to go in life.
Definitely, man, definitely. And that's crazy that you say that, because a lot of what I seen watching you, put me in a position to do what I do, to know that it was possible for a dude rapping from DC, not doing go-go, and no slight to go-go because that's the city sound, but actually spitting bars could come out of the city and actually, do something. You did that, you know what I'm saying? And that's why we call you a legend to this day, man. It's great to have you here. Thank you so much for doing this. Anytime I call this brother, man, he's always right there for me, and I appreciate you. So,
man. Y'all, man, so much, man. I've been there, man. Y'all been on the air for so long. Yeah, always got good topics, and you always in the community. I always catch Queen. She be in the community. I've seen her at benefits. Y'all know what's going on in y'all hip, and that's where we gotta start supporting that right there. Especially when we want to make independent platforms. Y'all are like the best because y'all gotta y'all know how to keep it, fly, but our people, something for our people, conversations, and it's just not all, scandalous and nasty, something that anybody into. So I've been around. I watched y'all when, you know, I've been on many shows when y'all was at the harbor.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
just definitely y'all just a staple in the city, man. So definitely when you hit me, I got to be on this joint.
Man, I appreciate you, brother. So so speaking of that, we're gonna get to the interview because it's a lot I want to talk to you about. But first, it is a few things going on in the world that, you know, we need to talk about. We always like to you know, just get everybody's opinion, kind of get the temperature of what's going on in the world. So a couple of things I wanted to bring up. Of course, as you guys probably know from the news, they've been talking about it all day. The case of Derek Chauvin, the defense and the prosecution is, you know, did they final statements and everything. And so now it's just on the jury, you know, to make that final decision. So everybody's waiting. I think it's, you know, it's interesting that a lot of states are taking a lot of precautions, you know, really beefing up their security, getting National Guard and things like that, you know, and I mean, you know, you could say it's precaution, but it feel like they might know something, man, you know, you know, or maybe it's just going off of stuff that's happened before. But, you know, just the whole trial itself has been, honestly, has been like really fatiguing, like just, and that on top of the fact that so much has happened since then, has been going on, you know, while the trial is going on, we got more shootings, more things happening, more, you know, young brothers losing their lives at the hands of, you know, police and each other. And, you know, it's just so much going on, you know. So when I was pulling up this topic to try to talk about it, you know, on this show, we always try to be more solution based, right? So I don't want to just talk about it for the sake of talking about it because it's something that's out there. If we're going to talk about it, I want to, you know, talk to you guys about, you know, if you have any ideas, if you think, you know, anything that you, because I sit and think about this stuff, you know, like, dang, what can we do to try to put a curve on this? And, you know, I think on our last show, Patrice was on here and she had spoke about, you know, just starting in the home, you know, making sure that you talking to your kids, right? Making sure that you, you know, raising your family and things like that. And I think that's definitely a good start. But since I have you guys here and, you know, you all intelligent folks, I know Mike and Black Indian, I know you guys, you know, like me, grew up in the city and we've been seeing this for years. You know, it's just more publicized now. But I just wonder if you guys have any thoughts or any ideas about any ways or any things that we can do. And I'm going to start with our guest, Black Indian. Any things that we can do, you know, just as us to try to start to get a handle on this.
Well, we got a one, you know, like you said, growing up in that city, and I seen you just like me. We work with a lot of youth, and it's the babies raising babies thing. So you know, we got to get to a point where we got to let them shine wherever they at and however they behave. You know, we got to start taking an interest in it young. And you know, sometimes they just be leaving it to the neighbor to raise them. You know, somebody else is raising them. School was raising them. You know, television raising them. So, you know, video games and everything is raising them. They're not being raised by human, you know, beings right now. It's not nobody with conscience behavior trying to really instill nothing. The music is not instilling anything. So,
right.
You know, we got to get back to channel into what we know that's cool for them and start supporting them in that. And that's whatever. They start drawing, they start painting, take a real interest into it heavy. Then like try to mold it and find something else. You know, I'm not for us dancing the jig to get a check. I never was into that, but I do respect when guys and families get together and let their children into type of sports or some type of contest or dance or different things when the people are right, that teach it and coach it and they good people. I like that because then we have something that they can focus on. Because they focus on anything else. If they have any idle time, they're not gonna go search like, you know, we as hip hop, we had a place to search for. At least we had those fundamentals. We used to go the DuPont Circle to go to 12-inch to get the records to sample or the Stadium Armory define records because we knew how Jay Dilla did it, or Pete Rock did it, or Premier did it. So we like, if we were interested at that time, we'll go out and search. In DC especially, was everything's free. So we searched out for things, art, go-go, clubs, dance hall. We searched for those things. These kids, everything is at the door. It's an Amazon world. So everything is brought to them, microwave style.
Yeah.
We got to find something that soon as they grab hold of something they love that's positive, we have to nature that as adults, mentors, big brothers, sisters. We got to mentor that, cultivate that, and protect that. And that's the only way we're going to get them. Long as they focus on something great and grand, they have no room for that, or to get caught up to want to be anywhere near trouble. Because you know what I'm saying? Anywhere you are, it's going to be. So you got to conduct yourself, and we got to teach them discipline and how to not react to everything.
Right. Yeah.
Just don't even need to even be in our attention. Like, we just got to mind our business and keep pushing.
Right.
We just got to learn how to not, stay focused on that phone, and focus on that life that they got, and focus on what we got right now. And then we'll be great. We'll be great as a nation. We'll be great as people. Again, all we got to do is focus on our children, focus on each other. We fuss at each other. We're nasty to each other. We speak to each other in foul words. So we never lifting each other up.
Right.
Even when the queens go out, they want to twerk and call each other a bitch. And we never talking up to each other. Hey, queen, you doing, baby? How you doing? Oh, your hair is gorgeous. Your shoes are gorgeous. It's not even started amongst human. Now they took away the way we can even smile at each other. We can't even tell us.
Right. Yeah. Your face is covered. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's real, man. Yeah. You touched on a number of things, man. Like it's definitely been studies about giving your kids focus, giving your kids something to focus on, and making sure that they are able to put that energy into something positive. And so that's definitely one of the steps that's going to lead to a brighter future for everyone. I wholeheartedly believe that. And Jason, the guy who was hosting this with me a while ago, he's pioneered like the Cedar United, which is an organization for the youngest around here, and they get together and they just anything they into, just like you said, Black, anything they into, they champion and make it like it's, make it as hot as these rappers make, slanging rocks and all this, and and show these females that it's more than just twerking and all of that. And it's dope that they doing that, and that's one of the keys. That's what's going to take us, like I said, up out of this. So that's definitely a step in the right direction, I believe. Yeah, Mike just texted me and was like, it's kind of noisy in the spot where he at. So Isha, I'm gonna go to you. Next, if you have any ideas, because I know you see a lot of the stuff going on also, and it affects you probably differently as a Black woman, So have you ever even given any thought to or having any solutions as to like what people can do to kind of move in a better direction?
With regards to specifically police brutality, or just in general as a culture?
As a culture in general. Yeah.
Yeah. So just a segue, I was watching Joe Budden's podcast, and Kevin Samuels was on there, and they were conversing about the dynamic between the Black man and Black woman. And how these federal programs were divisive as far as in the family, Black women choosing a check over having a stable, Black male role model in the home. And I think that when we get to the fundamentals as far as the relationship between men and women, and being mindful of those relationships, and understanding that the male and female, the feminine and masculine energy, that we are two unique entities of the same design, like once you have your fundamental relationships like that addressed in a healthy and productive place, that will permeate and radiate into your children, into your community, into the extended family, your neighbors, things of that nature. But as long as that is corrupted, and as long as that is in the state that it's in now, we will always have challenges. I mean, the challenges don't go away, but they're certainly a different thing to manage. You know, like he was quoted a statistic. I think he said, like, in the 1960s, 80% of Black people in America were married, and I don't know if that number is accurate because I didn't look it up. Versus now, I think it's less than 50% in the 2000s. So yeah, just addressing that dynamic and allowing that to help form the rest of your relationships and how you are as far as parents and people in your community.
Right. And just that you touched on, that movement that started around the 50s and 60s of making the Black woman as the, and how focused, like, the people who are against our betterment are, that they understood that the Black woman is really like the key, is really like the crux of the family, right? And so went straight to her and was like, look, you got to choose between money and having this connection and having this man. So instead of saying, historically, it was the man was the provider, so he was the source of that. And so now it's like, you got to choose either have enough, because we got the man either strung out on drugs, we got him focused on other stuff, so now he's not really even doing that. So you got to choose between this connection that is powerful, that you missing out on the power of, or being able to provide for your family, being able to provide for your kids. And that started that whole breakdown of the Black family, which like you said, led to a lot. And we've had conversations, a lot of conversations about this on this show. Shout out to Patrice, who's not with us today, but she spoke on this a lot, and I'm glad you brought that up, Aisha. Yeah, I knew that all you guys will have good ideas about it. I see Mike is back with us, so I'm gonna throw it to you, Mike. Like we were just saying, I
apologize. I'm in an environment where it's pretty loud. I know it's probably a lot of background noise.
No, you good. We can hear you pretty good now. Yeah, so I know we talked about this a little bit before the show started about, like, ideas of what can be done or trying to move ourselves forward as a people.
Time for war.
Say it again.
War.
You said it's time for war?
Mike said it's time for war. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, when you said, I've heard people talking about race wars and things like that. But do you think that's the answer for moving us forward in a positive direction?
It's a class war. It won't be a race war. It's a class war. Something has to give. Something has to give. You can't keep it on like this, and to say, all of a sudden we woke up. Why George Floyd ain't wake me up? I'm sorry. Rodney King ain't wake me up. My grandma woke me up. You did. So it is what it is. War.
And that's your statement, is war, huh?
War.
Yeah, but so but elaborate though. When you say war, what you say it's a class war. You mean changing the dynamic? You said what? You going in and out, bro?
The only cheek that I have left to turn is my ass cheeks and the kiss. That's it. That's all.
All right.
Well, there's that.
Yeah. So with that being said, like I said, I always enjoy the
it's an eerie silence. I apologize.
No, it's good. It's I know you're in the environment and you doing the family thing too, but I definitely appreciate your input, and we'll talk some more about it. But I definitely want to talk about a couple of more things before we get into this interview. And then last week and for the last maybe 2 weeks, we've been talking about of course the passing of DMX, and just how much of a influence he had on the entire hip hop game. And I had told a brief story about meeting him in New York, and just being all of his energy and his grind and stuff like that. And so have you ever met him? And even if not, you talk a little bit about his influence on hip hop.
Yeah, man, I met X once in New York City early on, in the beginning of that Rough Riders, that whole Rockefeller, when Irv Gotti had it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was known as a battle rapper.
Right.
Matter of fact, the shirt that Jigga is wearing in the video of that battle between him and DMX, the famous joint where they saw everybody everywhere because Dame was holding it.
Right, they standing on the pool tables.
Yeah,
right?
that ghetto shirt, Ghetto Dreams or something like that, Ghetto something. That was a DC Cats t-shirt. Like that was a DC dude's t-shirt. So that go to show you how long that's been. Like they've been in and out of DC.
Yeah.
Or in that area. You heard the stories that X had too. Been back and forth through DC, through Maryland and Virginia. So it's sad because it's a lot of artists that we love that didn't understand the business.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't understand how wicked people are. And then they gotta pass away. Like even rest in peace to Black Rob.
Yeah.
See people suffer. I've had strokes, I had kidney disease, I've got, and I'm fighting those things, but I've been smart and I've been blessed, to make the right decisions and make the right choices in business or just how I maneuver myself. But a lot of people wasn't able to have that. So people take advantage of you and people hurt you. And just, however America, people got to realize when you sign up for when you get with the major Fortune 500 companies, you now belong to them, that image.
Right.
So the perception of how you came at America is how they pitch you. How you see the Beatles, the kids fall out, they screaming, the little girls, and then when Michael came, they did the same thing.
Right.
So that's their blueprint. So same thing worked when they wanted to do, this gangster from the city. It could be relatable to the song called Black Man or the nigga, right? So that image is his image. So no matter what, the first thing somebody think, he is gonna be in jail. And then it comes to the point that they made him act like it. You get what I'm saying? I've seen him in movies where he played, I'm in jail.
Yeah.
I'm this, I'm that. So once they get that perception of you, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
And that's just a sad thing because this was a brother that prayed for people. He had a deeper message that people didn't peep, and then constantly, they had drama and him on television. So I always think about those brothers, and I think about getting like hip hop doesn't grow up.
Right.
It keeps you at one age forever. So it's like it's real hard. But rest in peace to that brother and his family. I pray for him. Man, that's real crazy. That he even had to. We even talking about him dying or anything like that.
Right. Especially at the age of 50, and then Black Rob at 51, like you said, making just the moves that they was making. You would think, that an industry like the music business that's so wealthy, that's so it's so much cash flowing through it. That they would have things in place to help people with medical issues, to help people with any issues they would have. But it seems like it, kind of forces them. And you could kind of speak to that a little bit, Black, about how it kind of pushes you more toward those issues.
You know what it is. The only reason I'm on your show, you've been at a higher level of entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these people ain't never been at a level of entertainment. They never make it out the garage. So a lot of people understand there's two ways. You can be independent and become wealthy. or you become famous. And they don't realize that most of the times when you sign to a major company, it's to make you famous.
Right.
Once you hit television, you're famous. You know, it might be for the 15 minutes or it might be for a couple years. But once you're on that fame thing, it's a wrap. It's harder to get it done. You know, it's harder. Everybody's trying to play a game. And if you don't have like your ducks in hand and the right people around you, it will crumble because it's not made to be solid.
Yep.
So it's not made to go long. Like, okay, how many times at wedding receptions or somebody's graduation party that you hear, whoa, you would never thought this man didn't have money to feed himself.
Exactly.
That this man didn't have like a house somewhere fishing with his kids, and you know what I'm saying? Right. This is what the industry do because it's built on selling that product and selling that which is not. It's just you're just the meal for the moment.
Exactly.
They don't care about longevity. So that's where you have to come in and kind of make it that way. And some people don't. You know, you get in and then it exposes who you are.
Yeah.
If you're drunk and a drug addict, it's coming to you 24/7. You're going to be more of an asshole. Exactly. You know, it's just how it is.
Yeah.
Y'all have interviewed people and just be like, he's a true jackass. Like, you know, because you would never think, you know, that this person behaves like this, but that's what fame can do for you. And then when you're not deep rooted and you're not doing it for your family, and you really don't have no guidance, no patience, and you think it's all about you, of course. You know, and then people say you hard to work with. So we got to get to the point where we want to have good music. Be concerned with how it's produced and put out. Man, who is produced and put out by? We got to stop accepting everything. We just accept everything.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We accept everything, man. They give us Lil Nas X. They give us all these off the wall images, right, for us,
right,
our people and our youth and everything, right, and we just accept it. It's cool. Like it's cool now. It's a topic. And we don't have to accept the way it is right now. And like right now, bagging on if kids want to rap and people talking about they producers and managers and all that. Let's see. Let's put them to the test and make sure before we give our children and our family members over to this industry that we protect them. Like, you know, like if you was to go play ball, if you was LeBron James, right? You ain't getting in there. His family, the uncles, the aunts, grandma, grandpa, everybody surrounded around. They know what's their goal line to get to their family to be successful, right? So you're not getting in there and messing that up. And until we do that with our little Nipseys, like Nipsey should have never been killed.
Yeah.
Like the people that's really doing stuff and really about that should have people around them to say, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice my time to be lookout. I'm gonna sacrifice my time to make sure he eating right. I'll sacrifice my time to make sure I'm in the studio. Ain't nobody doing nothing crazy. No girls can come around and jump in the hotel rooms with them. You know, the old way, the OG way. But they don't want that no more. They want them wild and crazy so they can sell it to your kids.
Right. That wild and crazy is the way to go. Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Like you touched on a few different things, but one of the main things that I wanted to talk to you about that you touched on was how the industry isn't really built for longevity, right? But just looking at you, and one of the reasons that you one of the people that I in this industry that I really look up to and follow is because of your, like, you have not stopped. Like I heard I can't remember who said it, but they was talking. They said you have a Tupac-esque drive when it comes to record and like the stuff, like dropping music constantly, putting out stuff constantly, and it's quality work. And so just being able to have that kind of stamina in this industry and that kind of, you know, drive to keep putting out, like, can you talk a little bit about where that comes from? Like, what keeps you going? What keeps you putting out stuff and staying out there?
Man, I'm blessed that I can do it. I was blessed that I can do it. When I found out, you gotta remember, like Super Dave, like for your followers and people, you know what I'm saying, that follow you, they gotta get an understanding that DC wasn't accepted about rap.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you were rapping, it was just like you was throwing everybody off. Because everybody just wanted to be a hustler. Everybody wanted to be this period or Wayne Purdy.
Right, right.
So at this time, I'm rapping, but I had a gift. I could draw and paint, and I had an opportunity to go to Duke Ellington, and so I met a dude named Slim Cat 78. They call him the 78er, right? But
yeah.
The Jazak, and he from 18th and D. He from the hood. We from Northeast,
right? And
he was already on sampling and stuff like that. So when I started rhyming, you know, I had dyslexia, of course, special ed kid, of course, DCPS. So you should already know.
Right.
I had a high quality for Jonan. So I would love to be funny, always getting put out of class.
Right, right.
So I just put those things together, you know, making people laugh and being able to be aware and be on it. And I love it.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of people don't love it. You never seen somebody that really loved playing the horn put it down. Like they gonna be out whenever the hell it's opportunity to play that horn, I'm gonna play the horn. Right. So that's what it is for me. I love making music. I love having that energy. Because a lot of people can't do it, man. It's people that's, you know, that's never gonna make it. Bought a computer, bought the whole shindig and never gonna, you know, make it past their house. And I got an opportunity at that time to go around the world and get signed, and so I was just blessed with it. So I still do it because it's still art. Like I love the art of it. Finding these young cats that love to make beats, samples, new artists, all of it. I love it. And I'm never gonna stop making music, man. It'd be crazy. That's like somebody say, we're journalists, but we never get you doing any news.
Right, right.
It's like, nah, no, I do a radio show. I've never seen you say that. I've never seen you do anything.
Right.
Like there's people that tell me that, like people, youngins, they be like, I'm a rapper. I go to their IG, right? They check on my IG. They're a fashion model. I don't see no music.
Right. Right. But
I do music. I love it, and I'm gonna do it all the time. And then, come on, man. You know, we come from the greats, the bar spitters. Like I didn't fall in love when Juvie came out with hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I fell in love with hip hop way back. Marley Marl, you know, the Jungle Brothers, They Lie, you know, Tribe, Nas. A student. And then it was hard in DC because you was a Bama if you didn't like nothing but rap a lot. And now I tell Houston cats all the time, I'm like, Slim, we were raised basically off of H-Town music. DC was basically everything that was sold, G to a Key to Scarface, Ghetto Boys, like.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's why we're like, when Face... Yeah, when Face come here, he's like an honorary Washingtonian. Like he's like a kid.
An instrument at the backyard band and everything.
Stand, yeah.
Much credit for Scarface too, man. You know that thing, man.
Yeah. He went through it with the COVID. I heard he was doing better. Yeah. So that's a blessing, but definitely prayers up for him. So you talked a little bit about your beginnings and stuff, so I want to go into that a little bit if it's cool. So I want to start with, like, before you know, because you talked about how you started rapping, how you got in touch, hooked up with Slim Cat. Shout out to Slim Cat. He's done some stuff with my man Jay and Duff and them. Crazy
Oh,
stuff.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's a monster.
That's classic DC hip hop, man.
Let's do, yeah.
It's coming, you know what I'm saying? It's just I'm grinding on it so the world can know. Like about great, like so many genius, so many alchemists, so many great producers. I grew up with them.
Yeah, yeah.
Little boy Cypher, man. Like cats don't even know. Like Howard, bruh. Howard plays so much a key factor. Like I laugh with Tracy Lee now. Like Tracy Lee.
Tracy Lee. Yeah.
Puff was there. I remember when Puff was working at the Magic.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Like, real talk. Like, I saw it all. Guru, an engineer that brought Jay-Z the sound. Like, I remember when they lived on Sherman Avenue, bro. I used to pass their crib and they used to use punch samplers. You remember they had the R&F crew and you know that was you know, the hip hop convention. And we used to go up there, do the hip hop convention. I was a kid, used to meet Common and all of them. So I knew where the world was at, you know, Supernatural, these guys would come out, you know, and Biggie. And it was a time I remember even being in New York City meeting Pop, walking by himself in Times Square. We drive the back streets of Times Square and we met Tupac, you know. Walked up, dapped all of us, me and Head, you know Head Rock. So Head Rock could tell you the story, dapped us all up. 1-2 Head Rock from 1-2 from Golden Era. And all of us, I was a kid. We used to go up there to Zulu Nation. I was also in the Gods and Earths. So I used to go to New York. A lot of times, a lot of dudes from DC wouldn't go to New York. You know, because of the beefs, you know, and you wouldn't want to lost up there. You don't know where your way around. I used to go up there, man, and been everywhere, man. I traveled everywhere and picked up sounds from everywhere. I lived in the Bay. I lived in San Leandro for a minute. I lived in Oakland for a second when I was doing tours with jazz great Steve Coleman. I lived places, different places. I saw different people and I saw how the music affect different youngins from different eras. And the key to like how I would present my music is I was gonna always be myself, but I've always wanted to make music to make people move. Ain't nothing like having that record that you could put on anywhere and the people ready bobbing their head and cook out. Any club, anything, like any, you know, like I ain't no smoke, I ain't no joke. You hear that come on anywhere. People on the floor, no matter what age, and so I wanted to make sure I made time. Everything is timeless, you know. And I know sometimes it's gonna catch up. You know, cats got to catch up to you know what I'm doing and different. And I'm not out to make those. You know, I was never out to try to do what other dudes is doing. Like, you know what I mean? I come from the time where that was called biting.
Right.
I didn't want to do nothing nobody else did. And plus, you know, I come from a good neighborhood of Joning and type stuff you couldn't get away with. You know? Right. But catch me wearing no purse around my chest. Like, you know,
man, it's so different right now. Bruh, it's so different right now. And one of the things, I think we touched on it a little bit last week, about the Kid Cudi performance on Saturday Night Live with him rocking the dress.
Man, I made it crazy. I made the song Sell Your Soul.
Right.
First song I made after the pandemic. I dropped 30 albums. I dropped 30 records. I put 30 records out. They said I flooded the independent, you know, streaming joint.
That's right.
Right. So I flooded the joint, but one of my first singles I made was called Sell Your Soul, you know, and I say something about, you know, that, and that's what I put up, you know, and that you was talking about. I said something about that because come on, man, he was hero just like Kanye for a lot of these kids. Because it's a lot of dudes that ain't killers. They not killers. They don't wish to go to jail. So
right.
they, you know, you gotta have your role model. And so this is the dude that's their role model. And now what my man doing?
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, you know, the explanation of, you know, him paying homage to Kurt Cobain, because Kurt Cobain did it and stuff. It's like
it's a
you know,
showstopper, man. It's a team of people that make them
decisions.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
He wanted to get back. He came out the game or whatever. He had some issues inside the industry, right?
Right.
When you come back, you have to be embarrassed. Everybody know this is a part of that.
Wow.
Like, if you have eyes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's being pushed. And then you gotta think, damn, this is being pushed Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, yeah. The national television, you know.
Now, hold on, I want you to go back.
Right.
In order to get on there and be on that show at that night, you used to have a hit record.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Where was this hit record?
Nah, yeah.
You heard, I mean, y'all in the radio world, you all play records every day, right? You in the radio world. I know y'all get music, y'all turn, oh, nah, that joint garbage. That's how it is, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Did y'all get a song from him? Was he in
I haven't heard anything new from Kid Cudi. Nothing new.
Yeah.
Nothing. Saturday Night Live. The biggest television you talking about is still people in America that don't have cable. You know, they watch real television. Like we be thinking, some people just got it sweet, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's some people in the world, this is what they rely on.
Right, right. Young and the Restless and Saturday Night Live, nigga.
Which is supposed to be the hit after your local news.
Right, right. Exactly.
No hit record though. That's when you should know that this is propaganda.
Right? Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. It's propaganda when he doesn't have a hit record. Why did it all of a sudden it matters? Yeah,
he's the music, he's the guest all of a sudden.
The hit song at. If you had a hit song, then just out of nowhere, I want to wear a dress. I picked the stage. You're not that big of an artist. I mean, he's not Drake.
Right.
Drake and them at the same time. He's not Drake.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
He's not Kanye.
Yeah. That's true. And I mean, you know,
my friend, man, just it's to sell it's trying to sell a new wave, man, the new wave, man. But the you gotta look at who hot, man, and who stand drama free, like Raw Wave and and those kids like that, you know, that got good music.
Yeah.
You know, that ain't really, you know, involved, you know, gotta do much.
Right,
like,
right.
The kid, y'all got kids, I know. Dave, you got a program, you work with Southeast kids.
Yeah.
Come on, bro, what the kids listening to? They ain't listening to none of that. They not listening. Right. So where's these millions of views coming from? Come on, man. I don't see no kids walking down the street singing Lil Nas song, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and a lot of that come from, you know, it's a couple of different places it come from, but you touched on the youngins, you know what I'm saying, coming out. So, and I noticed that you seem to have a connection with a lot of the new artists coming out, you know, either you doing stuff with them or championing them and stuff. So, first I'm gonna start with like who you rocking with like right now, like who's coming out that we need to keep an eye on or that you've seen coming through DC or this area.
Got Wooly from Southeast.
Okay.
Artist youngin' out. He engineered himself and he rapped Pisces 2 times. You got his youngin', Starboy Manny. He's singing, he rap. I done some records with him.
Okay.
You got so many, man. There's so many kids, man. One Big Migo, Lil Shorty's fire. I watched him come up. Lil Ark. Rest in peace to Arguello, man. Them boys, man, from that V gang.
Yeah. That was, you know.
Shorty to me, Youngin was supposed to be that one. I mean, his team, they definitely, all of them, shout out to Big Cuz John, but all of them over there, like I watched them, like I was rooting for them. I'm proud to see what I'm watching though right now. It's so many talented kids, all at CBE, Big Triple, you know, all of those kids, man. Fresh, Little RZA, like all these youngins is Tuffy. I'm watching because I was at Maserati with Tuffy, and he really doing it. Young and throwing parties, like, and knowing these city kids. And I'm proud of a lot of artists. I always said, man, you know, I always stop and listen to these youngins when they be like, let me hit something for you, OG, or let me let you listen to my music. I stop and I listen because I say that could be somebody's child miss.
Right. Yeah.
My opportunity to make sure he don't get, you know, because it's a rude game. I didn't know. I am 15, 13 years old, traveling around the world, signing papers I didn't know.
Right.
Adults doing adult things, you know, like, you know, so I try to always make sure that they are. And then sometimes it's only really if you think about it, man, a lot of kids, especially in DC, they so gifted, but we gotta find a way to just let them shine and be them, you know. And I ain't never been no gatekeeper dude, man. I ain't never been like, nah, man. Everybody deserve a chance to be heard.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody, you remember Dave, man? A lot of times, man, we would get on stage. I say Bama's dressed like ghosts back then when we used to perform, just to get the crowds.
Trying to get some, doing all kind of wild stuff, Dude
come out dressed like Elvis, just trying to he might get booed, but they took that chance, man. It was places for people, for the kids, ciphers, different things like that, a place for them to go, but nobody challenging them musically.
Right.
So they all start sounding the same. So I'm just blessed to be able to find the ones that are artists, true artists that love music.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm glad you're here. You brought up something that reminded me of something that I've thought about, and I always wanted to ask you this. And so I'm about to ask you right now. So you had an opportunity at a young age to do things and see things that people, you know, that some people will never see in their lifetime, right? You know, from like you said, from being, you know, a sound artist, from trips around the world, from just even like those little moments, like the story you told about me and Tupac and things, like little things that you'll never forget. So it's a couple of things I want to ask you, but the main thing is from all of that experience that you gain and all that wisdom, and I see you talking to the youngins all the time and sharing that wisdom. What's the main thing that you try to get these young artists to know and understand? And you know, is this something that you wish that or you know, something that you wish that you were told at that time? What's the main thing that you try to tell them?
Listen. Listen that, like, even if you don't agree, listen, be slow to react. Like I said, you know, we're not playing on a clock. Say, you know, it's one big day. Like we got man that make you think it's time. So your time is, you think time running out. So you start doing anything, you do anything when you think you're on the clock.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know what I mean, just to take your time so you could find yourself, you know. It'll be that moment in the history where you'll write the right song or you'll make the right beat because it's that energy at that time.
Right.
Like, we just gotta be patient with it and be truthful with themselves, man. Like, just be truthful with yourself and just tell yourself, nah, that's not right. And listen.
Yeah.
Like 9 times out of 10, if we could just have those things, man, be like slow to respond to things. Everything don't need your response.
Exactly. Or don't deserve your response. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, you know, that's definitely, man, one of the things that I would have told myself, and you know, just make sure you're doing it for something. You got a main goal there. Cause that's what I'm saying. More the youngers, they trap, they don't know what they really doing it for. Once you start making a little bread, I mean, if you don't have no calls, you know, you fall for anything, and look, they be falling for
right. Oh man.
So,
and there's so many, like I would tell my artists all the time, like it's a million people out there that know how hungry you are and that want to exploit that want to take advantage of it. It's the same stuff you've been talking about that's just ready and on every level that's ready to try to separate you from your money, to separate you from your dignity, most importantly, you know what I'm saying? Because once you do that, you know, anything, they can take anything from you, you know, so just staying focused and like you said, being slow, that's powerful, being slow to react, because, and I think nowadays it's more manufactured, like they training the youngins to react, to be reactionary, to as soon as something happens, I gotta get back, I gotta get him, I gotta da, not even take a time to think, and even if you're going through something, to plan your moves out, to be slow to react. So that's powerful. I'm glad, you know what I'm saying, that you said that. And in that same kind of realm, like in that same thing, thinking about like all of the things that you had a chance to see and do, you know, in your time, you know, in the industry and everything. Can you tell us about some of the great stuff that you've been able to see, and some of the great stuff you've been able to do, like, or something that stands out as like a great moment for you?
And I went to Europe, the you know, from DC, you know, I'm from Capital, I'm from Northeast.
Right.
So the white folks didn't speak to you. They walk smack past you unless they try and buy some coke from you.
Right.
You know. And when I got to Europe, I told a white dude I liked this jacket. He gave it to me.
Wow.
And then to see them break dance and to see them bob their head to Dougie Fresh, and then like to see them come out to see black artists, like the world is different. To be in Spain, Switzerland, and the whole town spray painted up all over the church, everywhere. It's spray paint all over Switzerland. It's one big ass New York subway. Our culture loved around the world to go to Japan and watch people pay money to get dreads.
Right, yeah.
Wow.
Go get an afro.
Yeah.
I'm saying that was the greatest thing that could ever happen to me. Like, I'm responsible for all cultures, for every race.
Yeah.
It's no racism in hip hop.
Right.
Real. It doesn't. Everything applies to that way. Whatever hip hop is made for, the energy for whatever situation, it fits for any race.
Exactly.
And I learned that was the greatest lesson that I ever had. You know, to ever see as a child. The fact that it's a different place other than the neighborhood. Because there's still some people that ain't never left DC or Baltimore or New York.
Definitely. And so to have that perspective, and
they never thought to go nowhere else. The probably farthest they've been is the Poconos. That's probably
right. Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Just to have that opportunity to see how, you know, it affects people all over the world, and then start to have love for people. Then you want to make music for those people all around the world that want love, that want to smoke, that want to eat good, that want to shop, that want to do this. So you the theme music. You
right.
Find theme music from the shower to making love. I'm trying to supply that. Your theme music for your movie, because it's your movie.
Right.
You know, everybody else is just a co-star. So you need theme music. I just want to be in that playlist of what's going on in your life, so you can be like, yeah, damn, he feeling me. And what hip hop used to be. When I heard Nas, I was like, damn, I feel this shit out there.
Exactly.
Damn, you know, or Face, or, you know, Pun, or any of the great artists. I used to be like, damn, I feel him. I feel that energy.
Yeah.
And that's my goal, is to make it into your earlobes, to make it into your house, so or make it into your car, so I can be a part of your daily life.
Right.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
If don't nobody understand, you throw me on. Even if my physical is gone, I'm with you forever. You just throw me on. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna sing to you. I'm gonna rap with you forever. Right. It's a gift that I have of affinity, and you can pass it on to your children, and that energy will still be there. I'm still always be around, and so that's what I love about this. Love about me.
Yeah, 100%, man. That's yeah, man. I enjoy talking to you, man. I always feel like I gain something from our conversations, definitely. Man, so 100%, man. So just making music, man, your process for creating, like, because your style is so, like, you know, I mean, I've heard people say unorthodox. I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? I think it's, you know, because if you listen to it, it's actually focused. It's actually like a pattern there that you could follow. And you know, for hip hop heads, if you listen to it, you know what it is. But just can you talk a little bit about your, like, how you from getting the beat, or do you start with the beat, or do you start with like the track or the words, or like what's your process for creating?
And it's gonna be the first time that anybody, you know, people ask, and they don't ask, because you know, you a hip hop dude, you one of the good dudes. Like, we worked before. You
right.
You a writer. Niggas cannot fuck with you, Dave. Period. And,
I appreciate that. I feel like that about you, man.
Right. Everybody knows Southeast Super Day, because it's 2 Super Days.
Yeah,
Super Day, Greg Park, and then the Super Day from Southeast. You the Super Day from Southeast.
Yeah. So, I appreciate that, man.
My method of making music is, I hear the beat in 6 seconds. If I don't have a song already, as soon as it come on, if the beat doesn't move me like that, I'm not gonna do it. I'll move on to the next one. Sometimes I hear a whole song, and just that whole energy, I got the whole song. For some reason, I don't know, I think my mother dropped me on my head when I was a little boy. So I think I see things a little Rain Man-ish.
A little different,
you know, little yellow buses, but I see things different. So what happens is I start to create the whole song there. Without, you know what I'm saying, with the hook and everything. And then I always just download everything. A conversation, a lot of things when I talk to seniors. I like talking to seniors, you know, elderly. They always have quick phrases and different things like that. I try to study as much as possible. I'm a Moor, so I study as much, you know, literature as I can. And just at the time, and they'll come together. It'll pull itself, but it's the beats. Shout out to a lot of dudes that's acapella rappers. Like, you ever heard of Sellers the No Man? That youngin' is out of Maryland. He's an acapella monster.
I'm gonna check him out.
Battle rap, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God, like acapella, he need no beat.
Okay.
But me, I love the beat.
Right.
My father is a drummer. My stepfather was a drummer. My brother's a drummer. All my brothers drummers. So I grew up around drummers. You know, Eastern Band in Southeast DC, famous drum band. They, you know, my brother was the drum major, like drum line. So I grew up in a house with all the dudes from the drum line. In my house. Even when he went to Brown. You know, they were always in my house, and so they used to play the drums all the time. And then my mom sung for James Cleveland, Workshop of America. Her and my grandmother, they were gospel singers. A lot of James Cleveland records that he did in DC. My parents, you know, my mother and my grandmother on the aunts and everything. So I grew up around that sound. So it's just a bunch of sounds I downloaded, and I don't turn away nothing. Everything, sometimes you just gotta feel it. Some producers got a vibe, got a feeling, and I get that vibe and that feeling, and I gotta make that record.
That's dope. Yeah.
Then I don't let it turn me away. If I'm having a bad day, I'm gonna put it on the record, and then if I'm feeling good, I'm gonna put that on the record.
Yeah, man, that's dope. Cause like I feel like you can feel that in your music, cause you know I feel like you make soul music.
Scream on that bitch today. I scream on that bitch. If a record make me feel good, like I grew up, man, my uncle played Millie. You remember Millie Jackson?
Millie Jackson, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up listening to records like that, bro.
That's wild, yeah.
I grew up with that sound, and then the go-go sound. I used to see Junkyard live, bro. Live.
Nah.
In your neck of in your hood.
Yeah.
We used to get the 90 bus, bro, over there. Risking our lives, bro. Over in Southeast, bro, risking our lives just to see this band play on some buckets in somebody's backyard.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, so like, yeah, it's a love for the culture, man. I still got a love for the culture. Dudes that sample records, dudes that don't sample. Still love for go-go. That backyard sound? Come on, bro. Good God.
Yeah, it's very unique. You know, like, you know, people try to copy it, but it's nobody like all of them, you know, they've been able, and that's why they have their longevity. I think, you know, you have that in common with them, that you have a sound that's unique enough to keep you there, you know what I'm saying, to keep your longevity going. So you know, that's something that I always, you know, commend you on, that I always look up to you for. It's amazing. And yeah, man.
You know, it's just the way that the city different, and it's different than Hollywood.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what we gotta get that through our head. Like, you know, we don't want to be them. And it could be so many great MCs and great producers in that city if we just, you know, just being ourselves. But for some reason, they, you know, the image of success then sold them so good.
Right.
I just want that image.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I mean when I say they so hungry for it, that it put them in a position to let their guards down. You know what I'm saying? And then anything come in, and that's why a lot of them don't get where they need to be, because, you know, the different things pull them in different directions. But real quick, I want to talk, man. So one of my biggest regrets, like I try to live my life without regrets. Like I try to look at every situation as a learning experience so I can minimize my regrets, right? But one of the biggest regrets that I have in my life is, I think I talked to you about it at 93.9 one time. We was up there for something Gemini was doing. And I, you know, in managing the artists, we were doing the open mics, and I wound up meeting Big Lil. And we got cool or whatever, and we would have conversations. One of the deepest brothers, you know what I'm saying, and one of the best spitters, bro. Like on one of the dudes on your level. So, you know,
man, Lil was hard, man.
Definitely. And you know, I told you I wanted to do it. I wanted to put y'all both on the track together. And man, I was
on that Icon Award from what was that they call it?
The Titan Awards.
Awards.
And they gave me an Icon Award.
Oh yeah. I got the picture from that night. You, him, and Tokyo Crow. Yes, sir. I took that picture.
That night that I stayed. I don't know if they wanted me to watch everybody perform, but they gave me an Eddie Vance awards after. And I remember walking up the stairs leaving, and Big Lil said, "I didn't know you was Muslim, Marquis," and we greeted each other because I thanked Allah for my award.
Yeah. And
Lil, you gotta remember, man, Lil, me, Nonchalant,
right,
Thinky Dink, of course, and DC Scorpio.
Yeah,
we were kind of like the stamp of what like hip hop in DC was.
Y'all and I was pioneers.
Because they already blew with Tommy Boy.
Right.
So Lil and Hammer had a show on Listen Vision.
Right. Yeah.
You know, he brought me down, and I got to talk with Lil for a little bit, man. But it took us back to all the little shows we used to have to do back in the day, like. But Lil was a good dude, man.
Man, one of the best, bro.
Dude, and like, you know, to heard that somebody killed him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he didn't die.
Right.
Like I should die. You
Right.
know, he died. He, you know, and then to go to just show you, if anybody knew Lil, he was a big gentle giant.
Exactly. He was a peaceful dude.
But he was that way because of Islam. Like, because before that, them niggas was very terrible. Them niggas,
yeah. Exactly.
Like, rapped about, they was really doing.
Right. Section 8
was not. None of them was put. None of them was faking.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
I mean, you got to think about it. In the 90s, they had Morgan Freeman
in a movie, right?
Yeah.
Right. Brought him to DC and made a movie with him. You know,
they had Morgan Freeman, bro.
Right.
Like,
right.
Bread, and this was independent.
Yeah.
What type of bread was these niggas getting? Like that,
Hey.
go to show you. So that's what I'm saying. Like they took a real dude that was showing guys like how to grow up.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the same thing I see. You know, one of the similarities I seen in y'all too is he was the exact same way with the youngins. Like he was always pulling youngins. You know, I had my artist, I bring him through. He was, you know, he hit me, hey man, I'm doing this show around the corner at this man, bring your man through. Let's do it. He was always, you know, that type of dude. And the bars was crazy, bro. I like
and
so
man, you know what I'm saying? Everybody know it. They was our ghetto boys.
Exactly, 100%.
Was ghetto boys for DC. They had the similar sound, and basically everybody was on Section 8 at the time. Like whoever from Baltimore to Chicago, people knew that name. They knew being poor and the projects and stuff like that. So they spoke for the ghetto, and you know, and I was, when they had the hip hop museum, I was blessed to see his album up in there because they gotta get recognized.
Exactly.
He's one that be recognized, and that's what killed me, man. It's like these corny clowns be getting recognized, but it be y'all that be in the neighborhood, play ball with the kids, take them to get something to eat. You know, at least when I came up, I had Head Rock in 1 2. They would have what you are for the kids over in Southeast. That's why I had those relationships and stuff like that, because I had adults, Kokai, Sub-Z, that cared.
Right.
You know, that wanted to freestyle Union, Tony Black. You know.
Right.
We had those people, man. And that's what, I don't know, man. It's like, if you're not telling them to sell themselves, it's like, or imitate, you know, an image. It's like you can't even tell them to, like, shorty does. You know, they're not gonna listen because they be like, you know, don't hold me, or I ain't trying to get on. You know, kid told me once out in the studio. He said, "OG, I ain't gonna hold you. I just want the money."
Yeah.
Real talk. Gave me my respect and everything. He's like, man, I don't really care about it. Man, you know the craft of it, man. He just throw the beat. I don't care. I'm gonna say whatever the fuck. He can edit it. I'm gonna punch it. I just care about the money.
The money, right? Yeah. And that's what they in it for. And that's, you know, it's killing the artistry. You know, it's tough. But I mean, they, you know, that's what's making it right now. You know, like you said, it's the cats that's on there. It's not them cats that's really putting their heart and soul into it anymore. That's really blowing up. You know,
that's because it ain't no interest into it when they're young.
Right.
So they, you know, the artist is now going to try to appeal to where he think that he gonna get the respect and the bread at.
Exactly.
Like you come out and you rapping about the stars and you happy and this. Well, dude gonna be quick and say, "Oh man, you sit your silly ass down and
right.
You don't sound like so and so." You got so many negative people and still they're embracing it.
Right.
And you're embracing when it's early, this kid might turn out to be Kanye West, a billionaire.
Right. Yeah.
But no, you want to. So now, no, you got a good kid. He's going to turn into a rapper. You got him committing crimes. So he can have bread. You got him out here pretending whatever beefs you got going on. Now in his life, he can't go to the club. They want to fight him in the club. He can't go there. And all he wanted to do was make a hit song.
Right. And that's why we losing so many of them.
now it's a prostitute.
Right, exactly. But that's also contributed to, like, you know, over the last maybe 5 years or so, we lost a good amount of young aspiring dudes that was really saying something and really making moves, and a lot of it is attributable to the fact that, you know, trying to build that persona, you know, they feel like need to come with it, put them in a position like you said, now they in stuff they wouldn't have never been in. You know what I'm saying?
And like you know, those things that hurt my heart, like baby swipe, like swipe.
Right. Swipey, yeah.
You know, I'm glad to see his brother carrying on his legacy, and he's dope too. But that's what I'm saying. Like those kids, he like Young was gonna be like a Travis Scott.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he had that type of energy, and that's what I'm saying, man. We gotta get in, we gotta cultivate, we gotta get in, and we gotta mold them like early and see the interest in them, man.
Yeah.
It'd be like dudes be scared to get their energy and their time, man. So scared. Like me, when people be on IG, I answer everybody back. Dude, I'm not that nigga. I'm not Luther.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna ask you back. You took your time out of your day to like my joint and give me some fire. I'm gonna answer you back. I appreciate you didn't have to do it.
Exactly.
When did it become cool to like, yeah, I'm only gonna put 3 posts up. I'm the man, and I'm not nobody. All y'all niggas suck.
Right, ignore everybody.
Cool with it. Like, why am I gonna listen to you? What's my purpose of playing your music or representing or anything that you got going on, man? If I'm not gonna do that, like if I got crowned by DC, I got crowned because I was with the people.
Right.
I was peace. I was at the battles. I was at State of the Union. I was at 930 Club. I was battling people. I earned my way all the way. Nobody but older people that wanted to see me win.
Right.
And that I had to work for everything, every battle. And you gotta remember at that time, dudes would go, you was rapping, everybody wanted to see you.
Right.
Everybody.
Right.
You
Yeah.
just don't know where I will come out the subway. Nigga, hey, let's go. Let's get on. I'm beating on my chest. They'd be like, let's get it in right now.
Right now, right.
This before the cell phone.
Right, yeah. Right. So yeah, they went off a word of mouth. That was it.
Damn right, and you couldn't lose.
Right.
You could lose. It'd be devastating. You'd be like, how you weren't even there?
Right. Right. By the time you got home, everybody knew what was happening. Hey, man.
Exactly. So come on, man. Like, and I was just blessed, man. Like DC was just the coolest place in the world because it's open.
Yeah.
You know, it was open. And then once I went to Duke Ellington and I got to get on the other side, Georgetown.
Right.
All that American University, you get to get over there and see how they doing it. You turn up a little bit more. The city was just turned.
Right.
I had an opportunity to be in the city and just make music and link with people. Infinite Loop, so many people, man.
Yeah.
Like Blood Entertainment, Majors. It was so many people putting out records, bro. It'll blow your top, man. You remember?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it feels like to a certain extent it's still like that. I think the connectivity that was out like in those days is not as much. It's more every man for himself kind of a thing right now. And people talk about that a lot, about the vibe in DC, and everybody want to analyze what's quote unquote holding, this area back and stuff like that. I didn't really see it as much, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the artists, like when I was managing my man Young Boss and had Sick in them, and we'd do shows, it was a core group of people, and we all, like, if somebody did a show in Philly, we all went to Philly, we all went to Richmond, we all went to New York, and so we was 30 deep going up there. So, but nowadays I'm not really seeing that as much. People got their crews and stuff, but it's that separate. I see more separation there now and more animosity between cats.
It ain't no handbook. It ain't
Right.
no laws and ain't no guys. It's like you got laws, but I mean, you know what it is. It's the streets controlling the industry.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
As far as the industry that you see, it's the streets. It's the street dudes that's doing that. You know, some young and some rappers I know like other rappers, but they can't because whoever funding their situation don't fuck with this guy or don't mess with that.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, it's politics as usual, you know.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. More when people find like don't want nobody. I say this to all my young cats, and I say it all the time. Drake got his fans. Future got his fans. You know, Kodak Black got his fans. They got their fans. Gucci man, he got his fans. And this is why these people sing their songs.
Right.
They have a connection. Get yours. So now your fan base is 149 people, but they support you constantly. Keep going.
Right.
The people will see consistency breeds champions. So if you keep going and you doing it, you're building those fans that will be there when you have your opportunity to shine and be at the fucking stadiums and be at your Super Bowls and stuff. And then they'll sing your songs too, because guess what? You've earned those fans.
Right.
But you can't just be like, oh man, if I ain't got 1,500 likes, hey man, I'm done. I don't even want to do this. You know, this is not for you. Yeah. And that's what artists do nowadays. You know what I mean? They don't really want it. This ain't no long-term thing. Everybody they think it's the gold rush in the old West.
Right.
On the rocks trying to find the gold. Bunch of fools out there with the pan looking to surf through gold.
Exactly.
See if you got gold, like, nah, brother, it don't work like that.
Right.
Diamond guys like that we came up off of, they was in the basement. RZA, he made a whole movie on Hulu. He in the basement.
He
made the whole Wu-Tang Empire. They selling Wu-Tang symbol at Forever 21 for young girls.
Right, yeah.
With Wu-Tang.
Yeah, 100%.
They never don't know one Wu-Tang song. Got a Wu-Tang symbol on their half-cut shirt.
Because it's trending, man.
In the basement. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to get back to that, like, where it's being cooked up at. You know the food tastes the best in the ghetto?
Right,
the food tastes better. Oh, that chicken tastes better up off that grandmother that ain't got much oven than it tastes, you know, in the Potomac.
Right. Yeah. And because it's more about the hands that's making it. You know what I'm saying?
There's love to it.
Exactly.
I gotta make it happen. I gotta make magic. I'm about to make this spaghetti go a long way.
Exactly.
Grandkids over here, I gotta feed them. Like, you know, and they come with love. So if we make the music like they make that good chicken and that spaghetti, we gotta make it with some love, with some soul food.
Yeah. And that's that soul music that I think, you know, is missing in a lot of ways. You know, it's certain people I hear it in your music, definitely. You know, and you can tell, you know, like Jay say, real recognize real. You can tell that spirit that it was made in. You know what I'm saying? Everything you put out. It's certain people that I really, really rock with that have that feel. Somebody that you rock with, Kenworth Katrina. Like everything I hear from her, got that feel.
I heard her, man, and thought of a female Rakim. Definitely, strong pipes, amazing,
yeah.
Artist, amazing kid, man. Period. You know, just talented, a talented one. You know, the city's just full of so many talented youngins that the spotlight is just, you know, they got to get turned on, and if you don't have the money, right now they done made it so, you know, you got so much corny people like, oh, he want to be a rapper, and you got people doing like anybody can get in as long as you got some coin, and so you overlook it. And like I said, it be the ones that ain't chasing, they ain't trying to be up in the club, that ain't, you know, trying to clout chase and be famous for the new kicks or the new clothes or the car. They just dope. They get overlooked. And I always wanted to make a safe haven for them.
Right.
So they can get some spotlight and exposure. Because it'd be the great ones like YU, XO.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Bro, I'm so happy to see XO getting this shine right now.
Like getting joned out by Tony Blunt used to be like you was done.
Right.
That was back in the day. It's just to hear kids making their own beats, Odyssey, these dudes making music, relevant music, little movies.
Right.
Fashion. Come on, man. I remember where it came from. It was no fashion. It was hobo.
Right.
Over in Southeast, off the whole road.
That was it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was DTLR. It was DDTP.
DDTP, right. Before DTLR, DDTP.
Remember, it had the Timberland. Everybody used to try to steal that one Timberland.
Right.
Off the top of the store.
Right.
That Timberland. Be on Pennsylvania Avenue.
Right.
Steal that joint. Come on, man. And come on, man. I from the beginning, like people don't even remember, man, like Snyder sneakers. Places like DC, I watched it change.
Yeah.
Watched it become something and watch it change and watch it not be DC anymore. So anything that we hold on to that town and that talent, we need to just love it.
Right.
Put it heavenly. I'm all for the Don't Mute Go-Go and the museum. I can't wait for them to put the museum in there. So Sugar Bear and R.E. and all of them deserve everything they get, man.
Yeah. These dudes made history, man. Definitely.
Come on, man. I've been around. Imagine going around the world and you tell people you from DC to rap and they talk about, oh, I love doing the buck.
Right. That's all they get done.
Let me clear my throat.
Right, yeah.
Like, what? What you know about that? Like, nah, that's around the world.
Right. And that's funny, man. It's like I think DMX passing really reminded me, something you touched on earlier when you talked about going around the world and seeing the influence that hip hop has had on people. You kind of forget because it seemed like something we hold it so dear. It seemed like something that's ours. You know what I'm saying? And that that's just it's local, it's small, but it's so huge and so impactful. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere, like you said, it's whole cultures from China, from Japan. That's trying to be like us. I remember back when I was on MySpace, I had a dude from England hitting me up, and he was like he wanted to do a track with me, and so he sent me the track, and I put some stuff down, and he hit me. He's like, yeah, man, he's got this real heavy English accent, and he's like, yeah, that's cool, but I'm more gutter than that. I'm more grimy, so I'm more. I listen to this dude with this English accent, like, hey, you sound like you about to eat some tea and crumpets, nigga. What you talking about? But
and the UK, man, shout out to London, man. They're a weird town, man. It gets down, man. It's the only place in the world, Paris, and that where, if you poor, it ain't got nothing to do with race. It got to do with class.
Okay,
if you poor, white or black.
Right,
if you rich, white or black. In a minute, America's going to be there in a minute.
Yeah.
We're going to see that. And that's going to be a culture shock for a lot of people here, but that's how it is around the world where the pot is a little, fluffier, especially places like the UK. It's the way the people look at the world today is like the old 80s movies. Like we used to see the old, like, why is America always beefing with Russia or something like that?
Right.
You see how that propaganda was pushed on us, and when you go around the world, then you see it really is really not what you think it is.
Exactly.
I really had a good time in Europe. Europe is a fly place.
Okay.
To see fashion the way it is. I'm not with a lot of the wild fashion that go on, but Europe is definitely one of the coolest places. I try to teach all the artists that I work with, if they ever get the opportunity. I know it's kind of been crazy now with the pandemic and everything, but if they ever have an opportunity, they definitely go to Europe. Yeah. Definitely get that energy. It's an energy that every artist needs. that want to be great, because all the greats went there, from Miles Davis to Coltrane. All of them blew in Europe.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I think if you want longevity and being a great artist, it's good to always build a European, a Europe following that have that, because something that you can't sell in America, you could definitely push over there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good advice. So I seen you do the radio show thing too, man. You got the new energy joint. You still doing it over at Listen Vision?
Yeah, but I'm about to change up the new energy format, man. And it just steady, because that was my big thing. I wasn't gonna sit and make it TMZ. I didn't I didn't want to talk about nobody. I still don't want to talk about anybody. I don't like gossip.
Right.
That's a waste of time, especially when it comes to our people. So it's gonna be more of like when you put out your new projects and artists, or you put out your books and stuff like that, I'll be able to interview a more personal interview, so we can get to know who wrote this, who produced this, and I can get a real spotlight on that artist, so you get that real energy. Like the time that you spend in the studio, it's like a small documentary about new and upcoming artists and new and upcoming writers, inventors, chefs, and different things like that.
That's dope, man. So what made you want to start the New Energy podcast?
Talking with management at the time, and Boom offered me from Listen Vision to come up there. Of course, Boom, he is staple, in hip hop in the district. So it was a good look. It's on Howard campus.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, out there, because I kept getting music from the youngins, and they needed to be a place where they had a platform.
Yeah.
Wanted to do that. And so I was working at the stew. My uncle opened up a studio on 15th and U Street. It was called the Stew. And so an great artist in there, named Sco Flair. He also makes clothes from Southeast.
Okay.
He's an artist. It was an art gallery also. And so what we did was wanted to push that new wave of music that's coming, and flyness, because now you had youngins that were more intrigued with art, visual, with the Basquiat's and all that.
Right.
So the kids like New Energy. So NU Energy, and I was like, boom. And then when I got the opportunity to do the radio, I said, yeah, I'm gonna put everybody on that would send me music. And most of the times it was a youth. So I was beating out most of the shows because I was getting the kids. Kids was from Southeast, from New Orleans, from Texas.
Yeah.
I'm playing it. I met you.
So you had a little bit of everything on you.
And I wasn't charging nobody.
Right.
The advertisers, we had a couple of jewelry stores and some real estate companies and stuff like that. My uncles got a alkaline water, Janelle Water. They were a very big sponsor of the show. So it was just, I wanted to have a platform to get new music out, basically to compete with what's on the radio, because most of the stuff that I was getting in my DMs and Facebook was better than what was on the radio.
Right.
Places. So I just wanted to get that platform. That's where that came from.
Yeah. And we had 2 weeks ago we had DJ Gemini on, and we were talking about the radio. Yeah.
Yeah, legend. He used to play Get Him Sight. His father was on a record store.
Right. Yeah, he talked about
Sight. He used to play my record, bro. DJ Gemini. And then when I dropped trap music, everybody was scared of that record, except for DJ Gemini. Okay. I got love for him, even though he's from B-More.
Right.
He's B-More. Yeah.
But he DC to the fullest. We love Gemini, man, because he was the first one, really, him, DJ CeeLo, real talk. Ivan, all of them was playing go-go.
Right.
Like no matter where you was at. Reeves Center, all that, they was playing go-go. They was playing my record. So Gemini, definitely, man, he a legend in the game, and he played trap music.
Right.
When everybody was scared to play that song, he gave it a chance. And I definitely, man, I love that guy.
Yeah. He shared the same sentiments, man. But he was just talking a little bit about radio also, and how, you know, how much it's changed. And I was asking him because a lot of people, you know, I've heard people say that radio is dead, you know, or radio is dying. And he was saying it's not necessarily dead, but it's not where people go anymore for, you know, for breaking artists and things of that nature. And like, you know, like when you hit, you know, that was what you did. You went to the radio, right? And that's how you broke your you know, your music, but that's not the way anymore.
The radio, it wasn't that easy because we was selling. The top guy at the time was Wally, Big Wax from Circle Boys, and me. We was selling them records out our trunks, out the stores, out the curry outs. That's what them records was selling like that, hand to hand. And it was a wild time, man. And then I had the opportunity because Spoon, a lot of people don't know Spoon, that protects Drake and Future, and Floyd Mayweather, Steve Francis is my god brother. You know, basically he's been my big brother all my life, basically in the entertainment. So I have had access to some great people, and I've been able to learn some great things. So I was able to get on the radio, and I remember they played the record. They you know, because I was on the box.
Right.
That's the only reason I got on the radio.
Oh wow!
I got an opportunity. Shout out to LBD. If you remember LBD.
Yeah. It's me. It's LBD. Yeah, he's a legend too.
He gave me the opportunity once you know, the kids. Man, the kids was requesting, like I watched, that was when radio was real. Like, you know, the kids called and requested the record. So I was requested by high school and junior high kids at 3 o'clock to play that. So I was just blessed, but it was a lot of groundwork. You know, it didn't come overnight. And a shout out to Biz. I'm praying for him. I haven't heard anymore. Biz did a song, made a movie, got into a movie with a song. I got to work with Premier, DJ Premier. Rest in peace to Guru.
The name of the joint was like Making Cash or something like that. I remember that joint.
Money.
Making Cash Money. I remember that joint. Yeah, that was my joint, man. You and Big.
Yeah, I was blessed, man. I mean, I got to meet. I got to work with Premier. Yeah. Because, like, real talk, like the walk in the D&D, like hand D&D on records all that time, and then I walk in D&D, and then I meet Greg Nice, CL Smooth. I get to meet these dudes, man, and it was a blessing. It was a blessing for me at the time. And then the first record I get on with Premier, I give a shout out to Kirkbone. So I knew, like, you know, I paid and did everything that I felt like I was supposed to do when it came to like blowing up and working in hip hop. I got an opportunity to work with Biz. Biz worked with Kane, Jay-Z. So it's like, yeah, I kind of let me fix my crown. Like, I got to work with Biz.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nas, you know, Nas had a real big hit with Biz Sample. You know, so it was just like, at the time, I'm blessed.
Yeah.
Still blessed. Still got those memories.
Definitely, man. So Aisha had to drop off. She had to get to work, and I'm saying that our time is running a little short. I want to. It's a couple of questions that I ask all of my guests. Whenever I have them come through, I always appreciate the answer that they give us. Some introspective questions. It's two of them, and the first one is: if you had an opportunity, knowing everything you know, with all the wisdom you gained, all the things that you've seen, to go back in time and talk to a younger version of yourself. If you had a time to talk to, like, you know, right when everything was kicking off, right when, you know, everything was starting, if you had a time to sit yourself down and be like, look, let me give them some games so, you know, this thing goes a little better, what would that conversation be like?
Man, just be patient. Just be patient. Don't be in a rush for nothing. Like, just be patient. You know, everything is meant to be for you, gonna be for you.
Right.
True statement. And I hope more mothers and fathers say that to their youth.
Right.
You know, just be patient, man. Sometimes it ain't your moment. You know, you gotta sit there and you gotta tough it out. You just gotta you gotta perfect the sound. You gotta perfect the piece of art.
Right.
And sometimes you growing to make yourself hotter and hotter until that time somebody like you touch a pan on the stove, it just get real hot. It burns. That's how sometimes you gotta do the industry.
Right.
You just gotta make yourself real hot. And to the point when they touch it, it's like, it's a shocking feeling.
Yeah.
And so
it's undeniable.
Patient.
Yeah.
Because I'm enjoying the ride, man. I'm definitely enjoying the ride. And I would tell them be patient.
Yeah, that's dope. And the other question that I always ask people, and I'm interested to hear your answer, because you've been seeing a lot, from rocking stages to millions of people seeing your music videos. When people look at you, when people see Black Indian, what is it that you hope people see?
A good man. At the end of the day, I just want to be known as a good man. I want people to be like, he was a blessing to work with. He was patient. He was kind. I want women to be like, he was a gentleman. You know, he treated me with respect. Those things go a long way with me. At the end of the day, I want to be known as a good man, because being rude and nasty is easy. You know, it's so easy to be rude and nasty nowadays. And so I want to be known as something that nobody's been.
Right. Yeah.
And that's kind.
Yeah, and that's true. You know, we both been in some rooms with some folks, and like you said, being rude and nasty is easy, and you saying, you know, people take that route, but you know, it definitely affects how far they go and where they wind up. You know, so that's deep. Hey man, I cannot thank you enough for coming through and conversing with me, man. You know,
man, Super Days.
Hey man,
come on, bro. I saw you doing the Super Bowl, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, man.
That's a big ass accomplishment, and you done many things, man, in the community and for that city, bro. And I'm going.
Hey,
if
man.
You say, man, you want me to come on the show, you got me. Oh man, that is not even a question. I want y'all to be top 10, beat out all the radio shows at home. One, because I know y'all care and you're in the community for real. You know, so Queen, she just left. But I've seen her, you know, at the Ford and in the Essence. Like, y'all really be in the community. Y'all have a right to talk about what's popping and what's not, because y'all actually there. You know, y'all not some people that just like, you know, hey, I'm gonna put me a green screen up and make me a show. Like, no, you're gonna be at the next fashion show, at the events and stuff like that, and interviewing the people. So I feel it's an honor, because you know, in history, somebody gonna go back and this interview will be something that somebody will use and chop up and use or something. So I'm blessed, you know, to be with some real journalists and some real people of our culture doing great things.
Hey man, that means the world coming from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't say it no other way. You a DC legend, and I appreciate everything you do, bro. Like I tell people, one of the reasons I made this show was just to get people here that I admire and let them know, you know what I'm saying? You know how they say, give people their roses, you know what I'm saying? And you want to deserve all the roses, bro. The work that you put in, you know what I'm saying? The reason I do a lot of stuff I do is because of you, man. I owe it to you for real. And I want you to know that, and I want you to hear it from me, you know what I'm saying? So
everything Super Dave, man.
Yeah.
Talented and great brother, man, and I appreciate that. Y'all the reason why I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
Doing it.
Yeah.
But as Wizards hat you got on.
Yeah.
New project too. I got new joint coming with Heavy Artillery. It's gonna be a short, not my normal 11 disc song, but my 11 disc is coming soon. But Heavy Artillery, and I've been getting some beats from Judah. An abstract beats, so I'm putting together what I'm gonna do, and y'all gonna get a new project coming real soon, man.
Hey, We'll be looking for it, man. Y'all look out for that. Hey, look, on behalf of myself, shout out to Mike who's doing the family thing. Isha had to go do the work thing.
Happy birthday to his family.
Yeah, son. Yeah, definitely. 100%. And man, on behalf of myself and my illustrious guest, the one and only DC legend, Black Indian, man, thank y'all for checking out another episode of the Neighborish Livecast. We'll be back next week with more interviews, more entertainment, more information, and more fun. Y'all take care of yourselves and each other. Have a great week and peace.